Hey, Nate. How's life? I don't know. It's alright. I've been dealing with some things like every human being and really didn't sleep much last night. I'm sorry. That's fine. I just think I need a little me time. I just think I need a little free time. Little break from the shows and the bus rides. Yeah. Last year I had a breakdown. Thoughts telling me I'm lost, getting too loud. Had to see a therapist and I found out something funny's going on up in my house. Yeah, started thinking maybe I should move out. You know, pack my car, take a new route. Clean up my yard, get the noose out. Hang up my heart, let it air out. I've been searching. What does that mean, Nate? I've been learning. Grabbing my keepsakes, leaving my burdens. Well, I brought a few with me. I'm not perfect. Looking at the view like this concerns me. Picking up the cues, right? I'm quite nervous. Hate it when I lose sight. Life gets blurry and things might hurt me. It's probably gonna be a long journey, but it's worth it though. Cold world out there, kids. Grab your coat. It's been a minute, I know. Now I'm back to Rome. Looking for the antidote to crack the code. Pretty vivid, I admit it. I'm in classic mode. The only pity given to me, but I can't condone. Talking down to me, I'ma have to crack your nose for cracking jokes. I'm looking for the map to hope. You see that? Been making a whole lot of changes. Wrote a song about that. You should play it. I get scared when I walk on these stages. I look at the crowd and see so many faces. Yeah, that's when I start to get anxious. That's when my thoughts can be dangerous. That's when I put on my makeup and drown in self-hatred. Forget what I'm saying and where'd the beat go? Oh, ain't that something? Drums came in, you ain't see that coming. Hands on my head, can't tell me nothing. Got a taste of the fame, it upon my stomach. Throw it back up like I don't want it. Wipe my face, clean up my vomit. OCD trying to push my buttons. I said don't touch it. Now y'all done it. I can be critical, never typical. Intricate with every syllable, I'm a criminal. Intimate but never political, pretty visual. Even if you hate it, I make you feel like you're in it though. You call me what you want, but never call me forgettable. Leave you deep in thought, I can never swim in the kiddie pool. Waited, I've been thinking the cinematic is beautiful. Man, I don't know if I'm making movies or music videos. Yeah, the sales can rise. Doesn't mean much though when your health declines. See, we've all got something that we trapped inside that we try to suffocate. You know, hoping it dies. Try to hold it underwater, but it always survives. And it comes up out of nowhere like an evil surprise. Then it hovers over you to tell you millions of lies. You don't relate to that? Must not be as crazy as I am. The point I'm making is the mind is a powerful place, and what you feed it can affect you in a powerful way. It's pretty cool, right? Yeah, but it's not always safe. Just hang with me. This'll only take a moment, okay? Just think about it for a second. If you look at your face every day when you get up and think you'll never be great, you'll never be great. Not because you're not, but the hate will always find a way to cut you up and murder your faith. I've been developing, take a look at the benefits. Nothing to meddle with, I can never be delicate. My even relevant, that depends how you measure it. Take a measurement to back it up and give me the evidence. Pretty evident, dependable, can never be tentative. I'm a gentleman, depending on if I think you're genuine. Pretty elegant, but not afraid to tell you to get it. Grip proper etiquette, I keep it to myself when I celebrate, huh? It's that time again. Better grab your balloons and invite your friends. Seatbelts back on, yeah, strap them in. Look at me, everybody, I'm smiling big. On a road right now that I can't predict. Tell me tone that down, but I can't resist. Y'all know that sound, better raise your fist. The search begins, I'm back, so enjoy the trip, huh?
If you smell what The Rock is cooking. The Rock says, The Rock says, The Rock says, The Rock.
Voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me. You got your rules and your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when rules start getting broken, you start questioning your faith. I have a voice that is my savior, hates to love and loves to hate. I have a voice that has the knowledge and the power to your fate. I hear voices crying, I see heroes dying, I taste blood that's trying, I feel tension rising. I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me, they talk to me.
Bright light city, gonna set my soul on fire. Got a whole lot of money that's ready to burn, so get those stakes up higher. There's 1,000 pretty women waiting out there. They're all living the devil may care, and I'm just a devil with love to spare. So viva Las Vegas, viva Las Vegas. How I wish that there were more.
Hello and welcome to the WWE Wrestling Talk Show with Lisa Rock Jones and
Sean Randy Smith as we bring you our SummerSlam pre-show. The biggest party of the summer is in Las Vegas, Paradise, Nevada, for the Allegiant Stadium.
yes, it is the end of August, which means pay-per-view big 4-time or big 5-time if you count Money in the Bank.
Yes.
Now, normally we'd be doing this show with a NXT TakeOver attached, which we are, by the way. But normally we'd be doing TakeOver first, because traditionally NXT TakeOver will be on the Saturday and SummerSlam will be on the Sunday.
Not this time, though.
No, because for the first time since the 1992 SummerSlam, which was held in Wembley Stadium, London.
Yes, the old Wembley.
SummerSlam will be held on a Saturday, aka tomorrow night.
At the time of this recording.
And for the first time joined WrestleMania in coming at us from a football stadium in the newly opened Allegiant Stadium.
Yes, and we have 10 matches to get through.
10 matches as the time of this recording. Now we do have SmackDown taking place tonight that could slightly tweak things.
So as we say before, card subject to change.
Or if they don't want to add or change things to land on the match card, they'll probably just put one or two of the matches, which we say now, onto the pre-show.
And we have a rough idea which match it's going to be.
So let's jump straight into things.
Okay, jump.
So, at Money in the Bank, Charlotte would win the Raw Women's Championship from Rhea Ripley.
She would, annoyingly.
And Nikki, almost a superhero, would win the Women's Money in the Bank. What a match. Unfortunately for Charlotte, the reign would only last one day. As after having a rematch of Rhea Ripley and getting intentionally counteracted or disqualified, whichever one it was,
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley would then attack Charlotte, leaving her vulnerable for a Money in the Bank cash-in.
Yes, Nikki ASH, almost a superhero, cashed in her main event briefcase to win her first women's championship.
Yes, instead of being Nikki ASH, she's now Nikki RWC.
Yes.
Raw Women's Champion, at least at the minute. Yeah. So, of course, Charlotte wasn't too happy about that, and Rhea Ripley has some unfinished business as well, so we will have a triple threat match for the Raw Women's Championship on the SummerSlam.
Then, as for our second match, we have a mega clash.
Yes.
As Roman Reigns, the title on the line, his Universal title on the line, the head of the table's title on the line against John Cena.
Yes. Now, after defeating Edge, which we will get into in a little bit more detail later on, Roman Reigns grabbed the microphone and Money in the Bank, stating that the whole world can acknowledge him, only to be interrupted by John Cena.
Always known as Dom's brother, always known as Peacemaker in Hollywood.
Yes, so John Cena is basically sick and tired of Roman Reigns, as we almost all are. And what WWE is promoting as the Summer of Cena. However, this match did kind of come across as an interesting way because Cena laid down the challenge on Raw. Roman Reigns declined. Finn Balor would then come out to challenge Roman Reigns. During the contract signed in between those two, a now desperate Baron Corbin
attacked Finn
Balor and allowing Cena to run in and sign the contract.
Making it official, despite the best efforts of Paul Heyman.
Yes, and these two had a war of words in a similar situation to what they had last time they faced each other in 2017. I know some fans are going to complain that we've already seen this match in 2017. However, that was a very different Roman Reigns.
Yes, this is a whole different kettle of fish nowadays.
Speaking from a match which some fans are excited for, some fans probably don't care and don't want to see, to a match that nearly every fan doesn't want to see.
Yes.
As Bobby Lashley will defend the WWE Championship against the man who is probably solely responsible for the decline and ultimate release of Bray Wyatt.
And that man is Old Goldberg.
Yes, so night after Money in the Bank, Bobby Lashley took on a returning Keith Lee.
With Bobby Lashley picking up the victory.
And then we was confronted with the familiar gong and drums of Goldberg, who stated, "He's next."
And Bobby Lashley wasn't very happy about it.
Oh, but the match was made official. Of course, in typical WWE style, MVP had to go after Goldberg's son and would eat a spear for it. And this past Monday on Raw, Goldberg would hit Lashley with a spear.
Yeah, he would.
Like the next match, we switched to some tag team action.
As the Usos put their SmackDown tag team titles on the line against the Mysterio family.
Yes, this is a rematch from Money in the Bank of a Money in the Bank kickoff show. But we kind of figured that this was going to be another match between these two, especially when during the Universal Championship match between Edge and Roman Reigns, the Usos tried to get involved, only to be thwarted by the Mysterios. This will also mark, interestingly enough, the 1 year anniversary of Dominic Mysterio's first match in WWE.
Yes, it will be.
When he took on Mr. Rollins as payback for the god awful Eye for an Eye match.
Yes, but moving on. To a match that has.
Speaking of rematches.
Yes, this one has WrestleMania implications.
Yes. At WrestleMania, Bianca Belair defeated Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And from that point onwards, we knew that it was only a matter of time before a rematch was made. Sasha Banks did what she seems to be doing lately, and after WrestleMania took a couple of months off.
Yes.
Then returned to SmackDown on first, aid Bianca in a from Carmella and Zelina Vega. Then after a tag team match, Banks would turn heel on Bianca Belair.
Shock, horror.
And then recently align herself with Carmella and Zelina Vega.
In a somewhat new faction.
Now, this is possibly going to be one of the best matches on the card.
Yes, I most certainly would agree with that.
Now we get to a match which is 7 years in the making.
As the Radar superstar Edge, WWE Hall of Famer, takes on. He's not the Messiah, he's a very naughty husband.
Yes, well, in 2014, John Cena took the Authority out of power by winning a Survivor Series match. However, a few weeks afterwards, on the December episode of Raw, Edge was a guest doing an episode of The Captain Edge.
Yep.
And Rollins, with the help of the rest of some of the Authority, would hold Edge hostage, forcing Cena to reinstate the Authority. That sign of not finishing him off there has come back to bite him in the ass.
It pretty much has.
The other thing which jumps into this goes back to technically the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
Edge eliminated Seth Rollins from the Royal Rumble match. Would then win it, earning himself a championship match at WrestleMania. Of course, Daniel Bryan would get involved in that, and we all know how that turned out.
Yes.
Then after Roman Reigns had dealt with his issues with the Mysterio family. And said there was no one left for him to beat. Edge would make the return and claim that he wants his one-on-one Universal Championship match. Seth Rollins took exception to this for the fact that he believed he had already been promised a championship match and was instead placed into the Money in the Bank ladder match,
which he didn't win.
Which only pissed off Rollins more.
So during the match between Roman Reigns and Edge, Seth Rollins decided it was a good idea to attack Edge.
And essentially cost him the Universal Championship.
Here we are.
Going back to some championship action.
As the United States Championship will be on the line, as Sheamus puts it on the line against Damian Priest, a former NXT North American champion.
Yes, Damian Priest has taken issue with Sheamus's bullying tactics with the likes of Humberto Carrero, and is now challenging Sheamus for the United States Championship in a match he's probably going to win.
Yes, I most certainly would agree. Then on to a match between two former 3MB members.
Yes, ever since Hell in a Cell, when Drew McIntyre lost his last chance WWE Championship match to Bobby Lashley, Jinder Mahal has decided to attack the Scottish psychopath. And they've been going back and forth on Raw. This ultimately came to a head when Jinder Mahal, along with
Thea and Shanky,
cost Drew McIntyre the Money in the Bank ladder match by attacking him and dragging him backstage. But then McIntyre would decide to bring a sword into the situation.
Yes, his sword named Angela.
This would ultimately lead to a 2-on-1 handicap match being made on this past week's episode of Raw, which Drew McIntyre would win, meaning that Thea and Shanky are banned from ringside.
Yes, now moving on to a match that we suspect will be on the pre-show.
Or could just be a squash match like Goldberg's one is likely going to be.
As Little Miss Bliss takes on Eva Marie with Dewdrop, aka Piper Niven, in her corner.
Don't you mean Little Miss Fiend?
Yes.
Yes.
There seems to be an issue brewing between Eva Marie and Alexa Bliss as of late.
Yes, I'm not 100% sure what to make of this. Bliss with Piper Niven, aka Doo-Hop, I get. Eva Marie has not, quote-unquote, wrestled since making her return to WWE.
No. And finally, we have some Raw Tag Team Championship action as AJ Styles and Omos put on the line against the team of RK Bro of me and Riddle.
Yes, after WrestleMania, Randy Orton started feuding and sort of teaming with a very excited Riddle.
Yes.
And for the longest time when this story's been going on, we've said, okay, this is going to end up in a Raw Tag Team Championship match. No, I still say the probably end line of this storyline is probably going to be a one-on-one match between Orton and Riddle. But it's nice that ever since spending a good part of the year doing this bizarre thing with a Fiend last year, they're giving Orton something different and almost comedic to do.
Yeah.
So, let's run through the SummerSlam matches as they stand one more time.
Nikki ASH will defend her Raw Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley.
The Tribal Chief Roman Reigns defends the Universal Championship against 16-time champion John Cena.
Bobby Lashley will defend his WWE Championship against Goldberg.
The Usos defend the SmackDown Tag Team Championships against the Mysterios.
Bianca Belair will defend her SmackDown Women's Championship against the Boss Sasha Banks.
Edge goes one-on-one with Seth Rollins.
Sheamus will put his United States Championship on the line against Damian Priest.
Drew McIntyre will go one-on-one with Jinder Mahal with the and Shanky Band from ringside.
Little Miss Bliss, Alexa Bliss, takes on Eva Marie with Dewdrop in her corner, one-on-one.
And AJ Styles and Omos take on the team of RK Bro for the Raw Tag Team Championships.
They sound very similar, I don't blame you for saying that.
So that does it for SummerSlam. Join us momentarily as we take a short recess for NXT TakeOver 6. And now we go from SummerSlam to TakeOver, which, like the other TakeOver for the past several months, will take place from the Capital Wrestling Center inside the Performance Center.
Yes, and it will be NXT and NXT UK.
Yes, in traditional NXT TakeOver fashion, we only have 5 matches, but a good line of storylines to go through as well.
So our first match will be for, in no particular order, will be the United Kingdom Championship, as Walter will put his championship on the line against the Mad Russian, Ilya Dragunov.
Yes, can Dragunov put an end to the 2-year-plus reign of Walter? Of course, this reign has been helped a lot by
COVID-19.
but Walter has had some fairly entertaining matches, and I would say it's time for him to lose the belt, personally.
Yes, it'll be about time. But now we're going to a big match.
Yes.
A match that we might be the second main event.
Well, I would say that this probably will be the main event. On following NXT Great American Bash, or actually In Your House, I should say,
Yes.
William Regal said that there was time for a change because Karrion Kross seemed out of control.
Yes.
And Samoa Joe made a return to NXT in June
After being relieved from the company.
when William Regal offered him the role of general manager. Joe said no, but was given the role as an enforcer, with the stipulation that he could not actively compete as a wrestler or put his hands on anyone unless provoked.
And that provoked played to the role of NXT champion Karrion Kross.
Yes. After several weeks of going back and forth, Samoa Joe would be the special guest referee in a championship match between Kross and Gargano. After the match, Kross decided to put his hands on Samoa Joe, ultimately signing his own death certificate. Because
yeah, effectively.
Because the following week, Samoa Joe was pissed. Came down to the ring, calling out Karrion Kross. William Regal said this wasn't what we agreed to when we brought you back. You can't go around calling out superstars. To which Samoa Joe was like, no, I can. You said unless provoked. Consider me provoked.
He effectively handed in his resignation.
Well, that happened after Karrion Kross further crossed the line by attacking William Regal.
Yes, and following that, Samoa Joe resigned as William Regal's enforcer and became a fully active member of the NXT roster.
Yes, after William Regal instead of firing Kross, as was originally the case, Joe said he would resign as Regal's enforcer, being reinstated as a member of the active roster, and face Kross for the NXT Championship at TakeOver. Now,
which was accepted.
This will mark Samoa Joe's first match since the February 10th episode of Raw 2020, 18 months ago. And it will also, if Samoa Joe wins, which is probably likely considering that Karrion Kross is currently being buried on the main roster.
Yeah, pretty much.
Will become the first 3-time NXT champion.
Now we're going to a match between a tag team gone bad.
We knew this was coming. Anyone who's been a wrestling fan for
As long as we have.
knew that this was eventually going to happen. Dakota Kai turned on Miguel Gonzalez.
By kicking her in the face.
Luva kick style.
And Sami Zayn.
And now we're turning Gonzalez face in the process. And now these two will go head to head for the NXT Women's Championship. This to me has Diesel Shawn Michaels vibes to it.
It does, absolutely does.
So next we go to a story which has been building for a while. Yes. At NXT TakeOver in Your House, Ted DiBiase Sr. reinstated, or brought back I should say, the $1 Million Championship, which was contested in a ladder match between LA Knight and Cameron Grimes. LA Knight would win the match, and at the time Ted DiBiase was in his corner. However, after winning the championship, Knight would attack DiBiase. Then on the Great American Bash episode of NXT, we had another $1 Million Championship match in which if Grimes lost, he would be forced to become the butler of LA Knight, which he did.
And ever since then, Cameron Grimes has been the butler of the $1 Million Champion LA Knight.
But recently, Ted DiBiase has made a return to NXT.
Yes.
And now a wager has been put up. LA Knight will once again defend the $1 Million Championship against Cameron Grimes, with the stipulation again that if Grimes loses, Grimes won't be his butler, DiBiase will be.
Now, this to me is signaling to me that Grimes is going to win.
You would think so with the way that this storyline's been going and developing. That's the ultimate payoff.
Yes, and now we move on to our main event, which will be a 2 out of 3 falls match between two former Undisputed Era teammates.
Yes. Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole 3.
Where the first fall will be a normal one-on-one match.
The second fall will be a straight fight, and if needed, the third fall will take place inside a steel cage.
Yeah.
It's very rare for them to do a 2 out of 3 falls match, and for someone to win 2 straight falls. So the chances are we probably will see all 3 falls here, and for 2 reasons, we will probably see O'Reilly win.
Yes, because there's a lot of talk about Adam Cole's contract coming to an end.
Yeah, Adam Cole's contract officially ends after TakeOver, and if he has signed a new contract or is about to sign a new contract, the chances are this will be his last match in NXT.
I would most certainly think so.
So those are the 5 matches we have for NXT TakeOver. We'll quickly go through them again.
Walter will defend his United Kingdom Championship against Isla Dragunov.
Karrion Kross defends the NXT Championship against Samoa Joe.
Raquel Gonzalez will defend her NXT Women's Championship against her former tag partner Dakota Kai.
LA Knight defends the $1 Million Championship against Cameron Grimes.
And Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole in a 2 out of 3 falls match, where the first fall is a one-on-one, Second fall is a street fight, and if necessary, the third fall is a steel cage.
So does it. In total, combined between SummerSlam and TakeOver, we have 15 matches. There's a chance that may be altered, and if it's slightly altered, we'll let you know next week when we bring you our reactions to both SummerSlam and NXT TakeOver.
Until then, he's been
Rachel Jones, and he's been
Sean Randy Smith. See you next time.